Honestly, it's the only part of the staging that feels like it has any thought in it. Oh, the world will explode. You'll feel it. It'll be an earthquake. I was really pleasantly surprised by this. Just like a party for your eyes. And I'm just sitting there like, what? It's unforgivable. Non-stop dynamite. Hey Eurovision fans, it's Tom Cunty from Shanghai, back for another Eurovision reaction video. Today was the final rehearsals of the Big Five in Eurovision 2022. It was a crazy day. You need to know what I think. Let's kiki. As always, I will put timestamps in the time bar and also in the description as well. If you haven't seen, I've already done reactions to all the final rehearsals of all the semi-final songs. Those are in 3 different videos because of the way that they were split up. I will put links to them starting from here. That covers all 35 other songs. If you want the most up-to-date reactions, follow me on Twitter as well. I was updating there today very frantically and one of my tweets went viral in the Spanish Eurovision fandom, which always makes me nervous because Spanish Euro fans are very passionate. Luckily I was saying something positive, so I'm not banned from Spain. Okay guys, so there were 5 performances today. Look, today just felt like another level, and I'm not trying to be too shady on the people who came before, but it just felt like a step up in terms of just the overall feel, kind of like the professionalism of it. It was very, very, very impressive. Now that's not to say that everything worked, but overall I just felt like today was really, really strong. Okay, I had 2 winners on my press poll today. I'm not going to tell you which is my number 1 and which is my number 2 because I don't want to pick. Let's just say I have a king and a queen. Let's talk about the king first. That is King Sam Ryder. This is the best British staging ever. Yes, ever. I can't think of any British staging which has just been anything remotely close to this. This is really, really ambitious. It's risky. It's dangerous. Mightn't necessarily work, but they've definitely tried. He's got these 3 kind of like parts of a rocket which have lights all over them. It does look a little bit like the Crystal Maze, in case you saw that TV show. That used to be a TV show in the UK and Ireland, which I absolutely adored as a kid. He's standing in the middle. He's wearing a black jumpsuit which has these kind of like cool crystals or something, but it's like this bejazzled patterned trouser. And as we go through the songs, we're starting off and all the lights are kind of blue and white, and then as we go in later there's a reveal where the sides come on. Don't worry, there's been a lot of like slight concern about the reveal, which I will talk about later. As it goes into a row, we turn into these oranges and these yellows, and then the coup de grace, he takes out a motherfucking electric guitar. It is so epic, and he starts rocking out, and I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck is happening? Literally, I'd say everyone was just absolutely shook. It was just so unexpected. I had no idea. He's rocking out there, and he stopped singing the first take. In the second take he did start singing, and then like it was just this completely batshit wild, crazy, chaotic ending. The first run through, his vocals were a little bit iffy. Now I'm putting that down to the fact that I just think he was genuinely excited, and I think he just got a tiny bit carried away. So I wasn't really worried. I do think if something is incredibly vocally consistent, actually I've seen all his live performances he's done on the streets and in the official like parties and stuff have all been very, very good. So I was a little bit surprised about that, but the second run through was better, and then the third one was the best. It does feel like he's still holding a little bit something back. Now, one of my favorite bits in the song is where he goes, nothing but nothing but nothing, but he didn't do that today. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that is because he's saving his vocals for the future. If he does that nothing but nothing but nothing while rocking out a guitar with this peeling back like a banana reveal into the golden orange lighting, this is going to be a real massive moment. It's already a moment, but it'll be like a big, big, big moment. I think this can do really, really, really well with the juries. It feels like this more justifies where it is, kind of being 3rd, 4th in the odds. I think before it felt maybe like a little bit too high, but now they've got the staging reveal, it definitely feels like it belongs there because it's just got that wow oomph, and it's got that risk and that ambition and that danger. He's a fantastic performer. You know, I absolutely and utterly adore him. Like, I was super moved by this press conference thing he gave where he was talking about this situation with the British public, saying that everyone hates us. He talked about it. Oh my God, he's my favorite British representative by like a bajillion miles. He's in like my top 5 favorite people who've gone to represent any country ever. I'm not saying like my top 5 songs, but like representatives. He's just fantastic. I really, 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 really like him. I'm rooting for this gigantically. I would love this to do well. I really hope that people don't get so obsessed now with the fact this is winning that they're just going to put so much undue pressure on him, because he's made this moment for himself. He's made this with his positivity and getting the song and being so talented with the singing. And this staging has got his footprint on it, definitely. And I hope that this moment isn't besmirched by just getting this like massive ton of pressure. I'm kind of worried that is what is going to happen. This is really, really magical. Got to really do emphasize, I didn't see a perfect run through. The technical things I was talking about was, one of the things, his earpiece fell out and he still continued singing, which was very impressive. The transition to the rocket ship being up and opening is done by men running onto the stage and they peel it down. In the first and second run throughs, you could see them running onto the stage and it really broke the mood, because it was like, oh, I just saw loads of guys run onto the stage, they must be pulling it down. You could literally see it happening. It didn't work. They need to cover it somehow. Apparently they did that in the third run through, but I was buffering that. Oh my god, I was freaking out when I was buffering. I was like changing my VBM to all these different ones. I caught the end of that performance. Yeah, so like it's not fully there. There's some extra steps that need to be taken, but this has the ingredients to be super, super wow. If he, like I said, if he hits those vocals with the guitar, I wouldn't mind as well if the guitar had some spraying pyro. I hope that's coming as well. Look, this can definitely be top 5. I would hope that it comes top 10 regardless. But yeah, I really hope that the moment is not ruined for him by the narrative changing to anything but top 3 means that people hate us. I'll be so sad. It'll be sad if that happens. Really, really, really sad. So he's the king. Let's talk about the queen. My God, Chanel, this woman is from another planet of ungodly heavenliness. She is an absolute phenomenon. First of all, her outfit is probably my favorite outfit I've ever seen in Eurovision. It is so gorgeous. She's wearing this like kind of diamond encrusted, matador inspired leotard with almost like cowboy chaps coming down the side. I'm sure there's a picture, or I can probably get a picture and put it up here. It is mind-blowingly beautiful and it feels incredibly Spanish. It feels like it's been designed with like a Spanish influence in mind. This performance is non-stop dynamite. Absolutely and utterly spectacular. First of all, there's a couple of changes. So we open on this kind of like almost cinematic scene where they're all in silhouette and she kind of walks around and we get like the sound of footprints. It feels like the start of a movie for 5 seconds. I think there's like some Spanish sounding trumpets as well. We go into the performance. It's the performance that you've seen in Benidorm Fest and the pre-parties, but even more elevated. There's a couple of new choreographic things I picked out. There's also some new Spanish sounding instrumentations. There's the trumpets, but there's also, I think it's a Spanish guitar. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's just elevated. It's like even more elevated. And keep in mind, I think I said recently that I've seen this performance so many times that it doesn't have the same impact on me. It really had the impact because the new things were in, and I was back to my Benidorm Fest semi-final 1 reaction where my socks flew off. This was absolutely spectacular. I was gasping. The first take was perfection, absolutely perfect. She was perfect. The camera cuts were perfect. The lighting was perfect. Every single dancer, there's 4 dancers, I believe, all of them were perfect. Nobody missed anything in the production. Her absolutely and utterly spellbinding. This is top level. This is like what I would expect Beyonce to do at the Super Bowl. It is so mind-blowing professional. If the juries mark this down, it's unforgivable. There's no excuse for the juries to mark this down. They don't have to put a top, but they cannot put this low and say that this is trash. This is absolutely and utterly the height of performing arts. It is so well done. She does a couple of high notes as well. Her vocals sound very good. It feels more dramatic with those cinematic elements. She's been doing her butt master exercises because her booty looks hypnotic. It's hypnotizing. Just wow. Absolutely lovely wow. Unfortunately, this has been drawn in the first half. UK has been drawn in the second half. I was really disappointed about this. If this gets a shitty placing, the fandom are going to... if I was RAI, I wouldn't dare to put this earlier than 8th, or they're going to have 100 bull's heads in the director of RAI's bed when he wakes up tomorrow morning, because this is very obviously in contention to win. And or to win something, whether it be a jury vote or the televote, or be in the top 2 or 3 of those. It is that good. And for them to put this as an opener, I heard someone saying it could be open. There's no way this is an opener. If this is an opener, whoa, the world will explode. You'll feel it. It'll be an earthquake. There's going to be an earthquake all over the world, and people will explode. That's not going to happen. This needs to be. They're not going to put it 9th. They're not going to put it 10th after Brivity, because I'll get to that later. But they definitely don't want to be followed by this. Definitely not. They were going to want as far away from Brivity as possible. I think this will probably be drawn 12th or 13th. UK in the second half, so wherever they get drawn is good. But yes, King and Queen, these were the 2 songs that I voted from the press poll. I'm going to show you the press poll now. And you're going to notice that Spain came first and the UK came second. I forgot to use my fridge magnets today, sad face. I've already talked about the UK and I've talked about Spain. Damn, how did I forget my fridge? I suppose it's because I didn't have to put anyone in a prediction zone. Let's talk about Italy. Yeah. Okay, look, this is really, really awkward. This is an awkward position for me because I don't particularly enjoy this song. That doesn't mean I don't respect it, and I'm not able to see what a really, really huge impact that it has on a lot of people, and I appreciate that. I thought that this performance was incredibly underwhelming. The starting is stunning. Mahmood's on the stage. It isn't the Matrix styling. He actually looks super high fashion. He's wearing a black. I suppose it looks like culottes with a jacket on it. It's very high fashion. He looks impeccable. And then Blanco's wearing like cream white, kind of like a matching outfit almost. Mahmood starts on saying this song's got. I didn't realize it has a new starting. It's got a new a cappella beginning where he's standing and there's a spotlight shining down on him, and it's very, very, very stunning. Definitely the strongest part of the staging by far. Honestly, it's the only part of the staging that feels like it has any thought in it. That 15 seconds is really, really strong. Blanco comes on at this point, and I watched all 3 takes. It got better and better. The first take was, for lack of a better word, very, very messy. It was hot and messy. They were so off chemistry wise and also in their harmonies. It didn't sound good. They were kind of, Blanco was coming in too early some points and then too late. It sounded like they were kind of like, oh, sorry, you go. Oh, no, you go. It wasn't good. The second take was much better. In terms of the actual staging concept, there isn't really one. It's black. It's like all dark. It's got some white lights. There's a piano that Blanco goes and sits on, kind of like in the music video. So Blanco comes on and they do the first chorus together. Then he goes and sits on the piano, and then he comes back again. There's not really anything else apart from that. I don't get the impression they've got any direction. It doesn't, other than go sit on the piano, come back. It feels like they're going for this like organic, natural, improvised feel, but in actuality, it comes off as a little bit lost and wandering, and also that they haven't rehearsed. It looks very unrehearsed and unprepared. Now it got better as we went on. As I said, the third take was way better than the first, but I really didn't get winner vibes from this at all. I think if a song like this wins with that kind of staging, it was kind of like messy and kind of lazy. I don't know, it feels a little bit unfair then if there's countries who are coming in. I'm not just talking about Spain and UK. There's lots of other countries who've come in with kind of like high concept, high effort, really, really well rehearsed stuff. And if they were to lose to this, I don't know, it sends the wrong message for me. Look, they've got plenty of time to improve on this. This was their first rehearsal together, so obviously that is a pretty strong caveat, is that Blanco was not present for the first rehearsals. So this was the first 3 times that they're rehearsing together with the full setup. They're going to have the dress rehearsals, they're going to have the jury rehearsal as well. So they've got several more opportunities. Honestly, if I was head of delegation, I would be literally right now at this moment, I would be booking somewhere and I would have the 2 of them working on something, and I would actually choreograph it more definitively. I'm not saying every single movement needs to be choreographed, but I'd be like, okay, you need to go here, you need to sing at this point, he needs to sing at this point. Practice their harmonies a lot. This is really not close to a finished product for me, and even the finished product is quite basic. Now that simplicity might be incredibly alluring to a lot of people, and maybe these like very, very choreographed routines, people might feel like they feel a little bit too artificial, and this might have more of a rawness to it. But then again, if you want rawness, Sweden and Greece Sweden are doing that kind of the best. So again, that's kind of dangerous territory to try and wander into. I was worried about talking about this, but then seeing the press poll, I feel just validated in what I was feeling. That, yeah, 2% of the press, keep in mind we all get 2 votes. So the most percentage you can get is 50, so that even makes the UK and Spain even more impressive. It's not gone for Italy by any means, but they really need to put in a lot of work to this. Let's talk about Italy. And I feel terrible now because sorry, not Italy. France. Let's talk about France. I feel terrible that this is the 4th one I'm talking about. This was brilliant. There was absolutely nothing wrong with this whatsoever. This is really great. And actually, for the fact that France got 15% of the vote, being in the same day as France and Spain and the UK, is really impressive. My favorite thing about this is the color story. It's the only entry this year that is green. It's very dominantly green. There's some whites and there are a couple of golds that come in as well, but really green is the main thing. I love this green though. It's very vivid. The photos that they showed in the first rehearsal were quite dull greens. It's actually very vibrant, bright green. It looks like poison, toxic poison, like someone's making a potion in a cauldron. The whole mood of this is like dark incantation fantasy. I've already said this in all my previous views, but they've really managed to get that feeling of this like evil, demonic, druidic incantation that they're doing. The stage is very similar to say Vuki de Se, but it is elevated. They've got that ramp which they start at the top of and they walk down, and I think in the entire thing they do a full circle. It doesn't look robotic. The girls look great. They look very fluid, or they've hidden it with camera angles so that it doesn't look robotic. It doesn't look like they're awkward at any point. They do it. The girls do a couple of like vocal flourishes which I haven't heard them do before, kind of like I can't do it, but kind of like loud beckoning. You're gonna hear it when you see it, which I'm pretty sure is new, but I really like that. They've got a dancer who's kind of like going crazy all over the place, but she's never in focus. She's kind of blurry, so it really does give that feel that like they're conjuring demons, and these are the demons that are dancing around. They've got fire burning on the side. They've got a bit of pyro. It's a light show. It's so interesting. There's so much stuff going on. It's just like a party for your eyes, and it feels evil and mysterious and dark, and it's really good. There's some lovely camera angles looking down where we see this kind of like green Celtic spiral print on the floor LED. It's put together. It's really slick. I still don't know how this will do. I feel like it's such a wild card. I can see this being everywhere from 18th. I can't see being any lower than 18th. I think that would just be criminal because this performance is really great. But I would say that's the lowest it could be, just because it might go over people's head, this type of like dancey folk feel. And it could be as high as pretty high-ish up in the top 10, maybe like 5 or 6. I don't know if I get anything that suggests it could be a winner. But yeah, I feel like it's got such a range. Genuinely, I feel like a song you can kind of guess it's going to be within this range of maybe 5 rankings. But France, I feel, it could be so much. Again, France with great staging. Big 5 absolutely killing it this year. My God. As underwhelmed as I was with Italy, it doesn't mean that they can't pull it together. They've got enough time now that they're here. They've got over a week. They've got a week. That's more than enough time for 2 guys who are very seasoned professionals, so that's not unsalvageable. Okay, so last country. Now, again, you might be surprised about this, Germany. I was really pleasantly surprised by this. This is good. He really held his own. I said on Twitter that there is absolutely literally nobody this year who wants to follow either Spain or the UK. Definitely nobody wants to come after, or probably don't want to come before them either. But he had to come after both of them because we went UK, Spain, Germany. I really felt like he held his own. This feels like the younger, arty, basement living brother of Sweden. It's really got that same raw singer-songwriter, authentic, real feel to it. I actually really like this staging. It's a little bit similar to the national final, but obviously a little bit more elevated. It's essentially his own little stage with lots of instrumentation on it, and he just walks around and kind of plays them all. It's him on his own. He carries the whole performance. He's got a great presence. It feels very personal, like we're kind of just hanging out with him and he's telling us a bit about his life. The rap part is a real highlight, and he does kind of get a little bit dirty in the camera, and it feels a little bit more kind of like shaky handheld camera. This really did hold its own. I don't think that this was a that this got washed out kind of in that, because the kind of conversation this year is that the big five is so strong apart from Germany, and I felt like he kind of maybe changed that narrative a little bit today. I don't think this will come last, because it does have a real personable feel to it, and it's the male version of Sweden, and if someone wants that, this feels like it. It's still quite a generic song, but I think he injects a little bit of life into it. I think it's very justified that he got a better mark in the press poll. He got, I think, 5%, so he was in 4th place ahead of Italy. I think that's actually fair, and I was kind of happy to see. I feel like the press poll today that's literally, if you ask me how to spread the points, that's how I would have put it. I would have put UK and Spain joint first. I would have put France with a very decent 3rd, Germany 4th, and I would have put Italy 5th. That was a big 5. It was really a great day. I had so many emotions. I had so many gasping and gushing and surprises and my face in my hands and everything. It really was like it felt very exciting. This is the best big 5 that we've had in a long time, probably since 2000, and I think it was 2010 when we had Nina Zilli and Roman Lob. I think that was 2010, might have been 2012 actually. We had Nina Zilli, Roman Lob, and I think Pastor Soler. I remember that year had like 3 or 4 good songs from the big 5. This has got 4 out of 5. Sorry about Germany, I just don't think that is, like I said, I think he held his own, but I don't think it's at the level of the other 4 in terms of how it's been received. This year for me will go down as the year that the big 5 showed up. I think that's how we'll remember. I think every year we can kind of like, in our heads, we'll define it as one way as remembering it, and that'll be what it is. Yes, so what's coming up now? We have tomorrow we've got the turquoise carpet, which I'm not going to do any coverage for because I need some time off. I need to catch up on work and stuff. I'm going to start posting the polls either today or tomorrow once I put this video up. Like I said, I've got kind of like a couple of days off. I'll probably be doing my prediction videos then after I've seen the poll results, and then of course I'm going to be live streaming both semi-finals and the final as well. I'm looking into a couple of things I can do. I'm going to do the same as last year. I'm going to do it on my phone with my laptop in front of me. I'm going to see if I can add in some extra features. No promises because I don't know if I have the technical savvy to do it, but I'm going to try and do some very small things. But yes, I hope that some of you can join that for me. Obviously, it's quite difficult for me being in isolation here. I was meant to go and attend in Turin, but I had to cancel it because of the situation in China. I am leaving China now. I'm really fed up. Missing 2 Eurovisions in a row was one of several reasons that I'm fed up. I'm leaving. But yes, it does mean a lot to me that last year a lot of people came and joined me, and I hope that there will be some people who will come and join me this year as well. So I'll give you more information about that when I know, but it's going to roughly be starting when the show actually starts, as you probably guessed. Okay, let me know what you think about all the performances from today, if you've seen the rehearsal clips, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another Eurovision reaction video very soon. Goodbye.